frankly, that the others are as well. About time. Thanks, Ed. Meantime, back on Capitol Hill, dramatic testimony from the top intel officer in Africa on the night of the Benghazi terror attack. Retired General Robert Lovell making it clear he never doubted that this was a terror attack and telling lawmakers there should have been a military response. Listen to this.
Did they ever tell you to go save the people in Benghazi?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
We didn't run to the sound of the guns. They were issuing press releases.
4 individuals died. Sir, we obviously did not respond in time to get there.
Could we have?
We may have been able to, but we'll never know.
Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who you just saw there asking those questions of Utah, sits on the Oversight Committee. Obviously, you were in that hearing today. Congressman, great to see you again. He looked emotional when you were asking him about this because, lest we forget that 4 Americans died in this attack.
And that was the key point. I appreciate the general, 33 years of service. He was heading up a group that was military intelligence, looking at the assets that were there, looking at who the perpetrators were, but he was in the room. And what's clear after the hearing today, it's the first time we've heard from somebody like this in a public setting. There were a lot of military assets that were not put into motion to go to Benghazi and engage in the fight. They moved some people forward, but they weren't directed to go into Benghazi and help save those people. It's just so sad. And I asked him what would you say to the parents of the people that lost these loved ones? And it got very emotional.
Mm-hmm. So did he ever respond to you, or does he even know why the State Department allegedly did not tell them to go in?
Well, that's again part of the reason we're still digging into this. First of all, we have men and women who are under the fight. We got Americans dying. We got a firefight on our hands, and we got to go. The military has to go ask permission of the State Department. I mean, Hillary Clinton has said she never spoke with President Obama that night. It just really, I think it does go back to what was the State Department directing? Why didn't they ask him to engage in the fight? For instance, we had a fast team that was going to go in and secure the compound in Tripoli because we thought that was coming under attack, and yet the State Department asked and made the Department of Defense change uniforms. They didn't want them to go in with the American flag on their shoulders. So it's so offensive.
So while this hearing is going on, Congressman, you just heard that Jay Carney was also being peppered by questions by reporters. And one of the things that he said today, a headline, is that the cover-up is bogus. This is a GOP conspiracy theory. And you would say what?
Well, they've tried to portray this as a phony scandal, but they also try to say that they provided all the information. As the CNN reporter said, how come you haven't provided all the information that the president said? In the last 30 days, we've gotten 3,200 new documents. Once the White House gets, the White House press corps gets past why didn't they get these documents about the direction on the talking points, they're going to start to go back and ask, why is it that the White House was perpetuating this theory, this lie, that it was a video that caused these attacks? Because as I established here today in the hearing, the State Department never believed that. In fact, we told the Libyan ambassador that it was Ansar al-Sharia that did that. You have the CIA station chief saying, no, it was not the video. It was not the video. He said it twice. Then you have the person who heads up military intelligence there in Libya for the United States military at AFRICOM, and he said, no, we knew right away that it was Ansar al-Sharia, Al-Qaeda. I asked him if Al-Qaeda was on the run, or were they growing and expanding? They were growing and expanding. So there's so much meat here that has to be ferreted out.
Okay, well, there's another scandal that I know you're intimately aware of, which is the IRS situation. A couple days ago, you were on the show. You kind of spilled the beans that maybe leader Eric Cantor would announce a contempt resolution for former IRS official Lois Lerner, that it would come next week. And now the official word has come from Cantor. So what are we to make of what will happen next week?
They're going to have a drama. We'll have some debate on the floor of the House about this, and then we'll get to vote. And it'll be very interesting to see what the Democrats do on this. Do we or do we not want the truth? Are we or are we not, as the United States Congress, going to stand up and try to get that truth? That's what's going to play out next week, and it'll happen with a floor vote. And then there are a variety of options that the House will have.
All right. Congressman Jason Chaffetz, as always, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Gretchen.
Fox News, delving even deeper into those newly released emails about Benghazi and the administration's changing narrative. Don't miss Fox News reporting White House cover-up revealed with Bret Baier, the special airing this Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and again on Sunday at 9 Eastern, only here on the Fox News Channel.